What's up, everybody? Adam here, Blacktop Smack Talk. We are back. That seems like I just seen you guys the other day, but we are back live from one of the meccas of Seattle basketball, Garfield High School. Coming to you live today. First and foremost, shout out to my man Visualize, who's on the camera, does all our video work, man. He's great. Go follow him on Instagram. But today we got a special guest. We're here with a Garfield legend, and I will call him a legend because he did great things here. Tucker Haymond. Tucker, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming out. Thank you for taking some time to just talk to us about your career and kind of just, yeah, we can just let your fans and all the people who follow you kind of get to know you a little bit better. Not on like a real personal level, you know what I'm saying? But like we'll just talk about your career and the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So starting out, we're in Garfield. You grew up just right down the street, you said. What was it like? You played 4 years here. You're 1,412 career points. So that's pretty impressive. Talk to us about what it's like to play for such a storied school, because there's so many legends that came before you, and there's some really great players that came after you. Yeah. So kind of talk to us about that.
Basically, like, there's a standard here. You know, it's like there's always expectation. There's always what's Garfield gonna do. It's like it's almost like you're playing for the Lakers or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like prime time, Seattle basketball. Like that's just what it is. And especially with all the people who have been through here and the people who continue to come back and give back to the program, there's just a great amount of knowledge and just passion. You know, we call it like just that bulldog pride. Yeah. You know, and bleeding purple and white, and like it just runs so deep to like it's just something you just know it if you're around it, and especially if you're in it. But you just feel that energy. You know, like for me, when we walked in here, it's just like I just felt the energy in the building. It's just like legends have just come through here.
It's kind of like deja vu for you, because you just kind of get the feels.
Exactly.
Feels
like
going,
you know, all the games come back to me, looking on the, you know, the Wall of Fame and stuff like that. It's just like, man, like some of the best times of my life, basketball playing wise, and just playing for, you know, your city and playing for, you know, your people and just putting on for, you know, the 206.
Right. So in your career, like I said, 1,412 points. I don't know the Garfield records. I was not able to look all that up, but it's up there. It has to be up there. Individually, lots of success, and we'll get into that in a sec. But, you know, 2 out of your 4 years, you got third at the state tournament. I know you probably don't want to revisit, you know, some tough memories, but kind of talk to us about that, because being so close to the prize, because individual stuff is like real cool, but as basketball is a team sport, obviously, and plus like you did it with people who I think you're still friends with a lot of these guys till this day.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And talk to us about how tough that was to kind of get so close, but you weren't able to get over the hump, because in your sophomore year you guys got third, and then your junior year, you guys got sixth, and then your senior year, you got third again. So kind of take us through that.
I kind of look at my high school career where I have like chapters in it, and like a lot of different walls and barriers that I broke through personally and mentally, but also, you know, producing wise. I think that, you know, there's so many people that I could credit for why I made a jump or, you know, was successful here or there. But you know, I mean, I look at it as like, I mean, I have to give credit Martell Webster. This is like his thing, is like, it's like a village. Like it takes a village to do anything. Like, And for me and my personal journey, as well as everyone else that comes through here, it's like the Garfield village, you know, like everyone's a part of it. And even people that are a part of it might not be Bulldogs, you know what I mean? Like everyone plays some sort of part, because then that goes deeper into just wanting Garfield success, but individual success for just a kid that everyone in Seattle gravitates towards and wants them to be successful, you know, like Seattle's unique in that way to where, I mean, I know it probably still happens at Garfield or Franklin. You have Franklin guys show up to Garfield, or Beach guys show up, or O'Day guys show up, and like, you know, Haskins would always just be like, you know, like, let's get better, you know what I mean? And I'm sure B-Roy and those guys are doing the same thing. Like, we're all open arms for anyone who wants to come in here and work hard. So my first 2 years, like, I know, I'm pretty sure you looked it up, I only averaged like 5 and 4 points.
You did 7 in your sophomore year.
7? Was it 7? I thought it was like 5. So 7, and then my freshman year, I think it was like 4 or 5. So for me, and knowing like that I wanted to, you know, I wanted to go Division I, and I wanted to do all these things, and obviously everybody wants to get buckets, and we had a really great team my sophomore year. You know, we had Tony Roten, we had Glenn Brooks, Deshaun Hall, who's you know, my best friend. He's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles now, but he was playing basketball here. We had like Wani Newton. We had like, I mean, I could go down the list of just everybody we had. And I wanted to be, obviously, in being a competitor and wanting to be the best, you want to be the best.
Right. And
you want to be the best not only personally, but you want to do the most you can do within the team game to help the team win. So, and knowing that I had to accept the role of, okay, I'm a sophomore, we had a senior-heavy team, that's just something that I had to do, and knowing that, okay, that's for the greater good of the team and what we need to do to win. And just being able to play with Tony, like, that was probably, you know, that was a huge help in my career, just being able to play alongside somebody that has that caliber of talent. And it goes even like deeper than that, because Joyce Walker, his aunt, helped him get back right on the court after his knee injury his freshman year. So what she wanted to get him back to, she also saw in me that, hey, I see potential in this kid. I see that he can do good things here at the Doghouse. So I was grinding with Tony when he was coming back, and I was, you know, averaging 5 points my freshman year.
Right.
And so she, you know, helped me a lot with my confidence, and just being able to see his grind and where he came from, and, you know, coming out of the shallow, the depths of the, you know, the unknown of the knee injury, and everyone turning their back and everything like that, was just like, that was inspiring for me, because he just did all that.
Right.
So going into state that year, like, I mean, everyone knew we were going to win. Like, we had Tony Roten on our team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone from basketball.
You guys were loaded.
Yeah, and not winning that was just, it was like, it was tough, because I saw all the work that like he put in, as well as all the other seniors. And for me being a sophomore, I was like, man, like, I don't want to feel that way. You know what I mean? I don't want to, I saw how like hurt they were. And I was like, dang, like, I got to do what I got to do to try and make that not happen, or to win to happen. So then, yeah, like when everyone left, like after my sophomore year, we lost, like, I want to say it was close to like 85. Haskins knows the number. It was like 85% of our scoring. So I was our highest returning leading scorer at like 7 points.
Yeah, 7 points.
And that's what it was.
Right.
Because, like, I mean, graduated, we had transfers, we had Day-Day moved down to Texas for football, and so, like, we lost everybody. And so then it was kind of, Haskins pulled me in a room. He was like, it's on you now.
Right.
And I was just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I just was, you know, my freshman year, I played a lot of JV too. And so, like, just from taking those steps to now, like, my coach, who was just looking at Tony and those guys to make the plays, he's like, it's on you now. I need you to come out here and do this. And so then that really just, you know, Coach Haskins was one of the first people who, like, believed in me to be able to, like, carry a team. You know what I mean? And that brought out another side of me.
Gave you a big thing of confidence.
Yeah, because it's like, I have to do this.
Right.
Like, because he's telling me I have to, so I have to. Like, oh, you tell me to run through a brick wall, I'm going to do it.
Right, exactly.
And so, like, that brought out a whole nother animal in me. And, like, I didn't know that was in me. Like, what I was doing my junior year. Like, coming out, I think for the first couple months, I was averaging, like, 28 points or something like that. And I'd never done that before. Like, this was all new to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would go around and maybe shoot some threes or something, but, like, just being able to do that and have the reins not pulled back was just, like, that was just a new, just, universe.
Right.
And I think that's helped me shape who I am today just based off of my junior year of high school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My senior year, you know, Coach Haskins was like, hey, let's pull back the scoring a little bit and let's just play, like, as good a basketball as we can.
Right. So
I don't need you to go out and go for 25. If you can go average 18 points this year, and it's crazy because every year he told me to go out and average a number, I would get that number.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? He was like, I need you to go out and average maybe 18 points.
Oh, you averaged 17 and 9 as a senior. Yeah.
So he's like 17, 18, go grab a bunch of rebounds, but just lead the team and win.
Right.
You know, that's the only thing that matters. Like, you're already going to go to college, you're already going to do all that. You don't need to whatever. I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, let's go win this championship. And so first game we came out, false start against Todd Beamer. And, I mean, everybody knew that was just, everybody's like, all right, shake that off. From there forward, we didn't lose a game. All the way through state, everything. And we were rolling. And, like, everybody was playing really good. Like Trayvonte Williams, like, he was killing. Like, partner in crime, 1-2 punch.
Right.
Like, you know, we just had down the line, like, DeMario was leading the team. Like, we had Torrance in there holding down the fort at the.
Nah, he wasn't. Torrance was probably sitting next to Haskins on the bench. You heard that, T? He was sitting on the bench. Damn football player, old lineman. Nah, man, T's my guy, man.
Torrance, the most undersized. He played like he was like 6'10".
Yeah.
And he was holding the fort down. Torrance is the reason we went to state my senior year, though. A lot of people don't know this.
Damn, I'm really going to I'm in a group chat with him, so I'm definitely going to hear about this.
So everyone, people don't even, this story is not even told because it's kind of like, I don't know why, but Torrance got us to state my senior year. We won Kinko, but then they changed the rules where you had to win Kinko and you couldn't go straight to state. You had to play
it's like the regional.
Yeah, like a regional game or something.
They still do that.
Okay, yeah. So we played like South Kitsap, and we played them out north, whatever school that was that Jason Todd went to, I forget. Jackson. Yeah. So we're playing there, and it's like a nail biter. You know, I just went for 40 like 2 nights ago. So they were on me. They were not letting me catch the ball. Trey went off. Trey went for dang near 30 or something like that. And the game gets down. We're down by 2. We need, you know, a 3 to win or a 2 to tie. I don't know who, if it was me or something, tough shot goes up, bad miss. Torrance gets the rebound, goes up, gets fouled. Like, no time on the clock.
Hits the free throws.
We might have been down 1, actually. Okay. We might have been down 1. I don't know for sure. You have to ask Torrance. But however it goes, Torrance steps up to the line, and I'm like, my high school career is over.
Right.
Like, because, like, I mean, Torrance is my guy, but I was like, I was just like, man, we got T Bear at the line right now.
He's not known for his.
We got Ben Wallace at the line.
Right, he's not known for his touch.
Not known for his free throws. And I was like, I was at the free throw line. I was praying at the free throw line. I was like, please, Torrance, please make these free throws. And he sunk both of those. And we had life. And, like, that was just a testament to, like, just how that team was that year. Like, we had a lot of guys step up. Like,
Right.
And I think that was mainly just because Coach Haskins was just, like, you know, just wanted that team concept and wanted everyone to be involved, and everyone had roles and everyone bought into those roles, and like we didn't have any like team issues. Like we just had a great team.
Right.
And to come up short, like it still haunts me. Like I still go back and look at that picture of me crying on Coach Haskins' shoulders,
Oh,
like,
man.
and those were real tears. Those were like.
It's not fake. Yeah,
Those were real tears.
Real emotion.
That was real. That was the first time I had really just lost it on the court like that, and I didn't care because I was like, man, I worked so hard for this, and like it still hurts me because I'm just like, we were right there. Like we were right there. We lost in overtime, but yeah. So coming up short like that was tough.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. This next question kind of ties into how you were discussing how you felt once Tone and Wani and those guys left. Is your junior and senior year. Your junior year, Kinko Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a Player of the Year. I don't care. That's a big accomplishment for anybody. The kicker is you did it over Zach LaVine. So I know you described how you felt like you know it was the first time you were the man and you got to lead the team, and you know you averaged, it was 22 and 10 that year. That's impressive. Player of the Year, first team All Kinko. So describe what that meant to you. Describe the feeling of winning such a prestigious honor.
I mean, that's the first time I ever won any type of like individual accolade like that.
Oh, wow.
I think maybe my freshman year I was on like I think they have like an all freshman team or something. I don't know if they do or not, but I had honorable mention for something.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you know, like I had never just gotten nominated for anything like that. So like that in itself was like my whole junior year was just like all foreign to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everything happening was like a new thing. And I was actually with Coach Haskins when he got the call before it was released that they called him and we were actually there. I rode with him out to Tacoma. We were scouting whoever we were going to play somewhere, and he got the call, and he was just like he told me about it, and he was like, that's what's up. But then he always was like instilling that like that's not enough. You know what I mean? Like he always kept me pushing to the next level, and I think that's why I never like got comfortable, especially when I was in high school, and I'm still never comfortable. And I think he helped instill that in me, and like was kind of just like,
don't get complacent.
yeah, like you won, but like we haven't won a ring.
Right.
You know, and then like I'm sure if we won a ring, he would be like, all right, now go get two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like still to this day, like I saw him at the Zekin, and he's like doing the same kind of challenging with me on the court. You know, like he always challenging me, always trying to get me to do better. And so yeah, like it was great, but I think that in itself was just a testament to show more so. Obviously I went out there and did the things, but I think that it was more so of kind of just showing obviously like what Coach Haskins like brought out of me. And he was just kind of like, this is you. You know what I mean? Like this is who you are. Like
he believed, essentially he believed in you.
Yeah, it's like this is who you are, and that then carried me into like my rotary, you know, and everything, and like just playing, and he was just like, this is your new chapter, you know what I'm saying? Like you are a new player. You are not, you know, in a sense, just a spot up shooter in the corner or like something like that. He was like, you can do more than that, and so
you don't want to be like a label.
Yeah, he was like, you can do that,
You're not
but
a specialist.
you can be a specialist if that's what you want to do, and you can be great in that, and that's fine. But like as of right now, this is you're just a player,
right?
And you can be the best in a league. Like that's what you can do. And I was just like, all right, like let's do it. And so we came up short that year, and it was just like the same story the next year. And I think it was definitely cool like having that, but I would change that in for a ring, though. For sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So with your last 2 years being so successful on the court, off the court, how was your recruiting like? And ultimately, well, first, what was your recruiting like? Because I'm pretty sure it picked up through AAU and through your seasons.
You'd be surprised.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, and then what ultimately made you decide to choose Western Michigan?
I was actually like very under recruited. I wouldn't even call it.
Crazy.
Yeah, like
That's crazy.
I had. So the Western Michigan story is like a story in itself.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'll tell you about my recruiting, and then I can tell you about Western Michigan.
Okay. Yeah.
So my my recruiting was, like I said, very under recruited. I got an offer from Western was my first offer, and that was
Western Washington.
Western Michigan. Sorry.
Oh, Western Michigan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I'm in Washington. So Western Michigan was my first offer, and that was my summer going into my junior year.
Oh wow.
So as a sophomore, so that was early, but that was, like I said, there's a story behind that. Mm-hmm. My next offer came at the end of my junior year, and that was Seattle U. Okay. And then the summer going into my senior year, I picked up Idaho State and Montana State, and that was it.
Wow, 4 offers.
Yeah.
I mean, that it was still a blessing to get an offer, but still, like, with how well you played and how much you evolved in 3 years from sophomore to the end of your senior year, that's rather surprising. I didn't know that. That's pretty shocking.
Yeah. So and then I actually ended with 3 offers. So one of those offers got taken back. Well, not taken back, went to somebody else. But yeah, so it was crazy. Like, and that's just how it is, like I've always been just the underdog, you know what I mean? Like I've always been the not as polished or not as pretty, or can he do this, or there's always been a doubt about a lot of different things through my whole career. And I like that, you know what I mean? Like, it means that I'm not held to some standard. So anything that I do is more than what was expected. And now getting into the opportunity might be harder, but when the opportunity does come, I've been hungry for it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm still hungry for it right now. Like, I'm still waiting for that opportunity. And, what's the quote? Like, opportunity without preparation is, like a fool. John Wooden quote. I don't know.
Okay,
my college coach was all into John Wooden, but, like, what is an opportunity without preparation, or something like that. And so just always just working hard, and the offers weren't coming, and I committed actually the end of the summer going into my senior year. I committed to Western Michigan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I committed on a visit. I went on my first official visit, committed. And I'm always giving Coach Hawkins, my college coach, crap about this. I'm like, you guys got me on the visit. You guys got me on the visit. So actually, a lot of people don't know is, so I got back, a couple weeks went by, and I was like, man, I only have, I got into the thing of like, I only have 4 offers. Like, I'm such a different player. I've gotten so much better. Let me just see how my senior season goes. So I called up Coach Hawk, and I was like, Coach Hawk, I want to decommit.
Oh, okay.
So I decommitted from Western. And this has like never happened in Western Michigan history. Like, someone decommitting and then recommitting again and signing. Like, everyone over there was like, what's going on with this kid?
Right.
Like, the blogs and stuff were ripping on me and stuff. And I was like, man. So then I was like, all right, I just want to make sure what I really wanted to do was, like, I wanted to see if there was any other options out there. Mm-hmm. And then I also wanted to say, okay, if I am going to go to Western, I want to make, like, for sure that I will, like, have no doubts, because I'm a type of guy where if I go play somewhere, like I came here, I'm going to play 4 years. I'm going to stay there. I don't want any doubts. I don't want that in my head. I don't want to be the guy on the court talking about, man, I might go here, I might go there, I'm going to go here and win a ring or something. Like, no. Like, I'm going to stay loyal, I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to try and make a name for the organization or the team or whatever it is.
Right.
And then after that, make a name for myself within and be just a 4-year guy. So I had, you know, that great senior year, and nothing came.
Damn.
Like, no,
wow.
Yeah, like no offers came through my senior
crazy.
year. And I had actually, you know, I wanted to go. I kind of was like really gonna go and just go to Seattle U and be like a hometown hero guy. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just stay in town, play for Seattle U. They're gonna be in the WAC. I think the WAC. My freshman year was their first time when they finally came officially in the conference.
Yeah, were they eligible for postseason.
And I was like, all right, like, I'll just do that. I called up the coach, and he was like, we don't have an offer for you anymore. So I was like, dang, now I only got like 3 offers, or really 2 others, and I didn't really want to go to Montana State or Idaho State, you know, like, no disrespect to them, but it just wasn't
a good fit.
It just wasn't a good fit, and I just didn't think that, like, that would just be the best move for me. So, you know, my whole senior year went by, and I finally was just like, you know what? Just on a random whim, one night, called up Coach Hawk. It was probably like midnight out there. I was like, Coach, I'm coming home. Like, send me the paperwork. That was it. I was like, I was done with it.
Right.
I was like, I'm just gonna go with who wants me, go with who believes in me. You know, they were my first offer. Done. Like, don't want nothing else. Focus on my season, try and get a ring. Got that out the way, and then it was crazy how after that everybody was like, you know, went for 40 and this and that, and like Pac-12 schools were like, hey, if you go prep for a year, we got a spot for you and this and that, and I was just like, man, I'm ready to go to school. Like, I'm gonna go with who wants me, and you know, I'm gonna just play that. So yeah, I like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like all these things that have happened to me have helped shape me into like who I am and help me become, I always say, a different animal mentally. You know, like there's something to be said about having to always go through adversity and then see that you can make it through. You know, and I've seen it, and I know a lot of people have seen it, but for the people, not even just basketball, but in life, like, for someone that's never had to face any adversity and has just had the red carpet rolled out for them, when they finally do hit adversity, because, you know, Newton's Law or whatever it is, like, if it's out there, it's there, whatever it is, like, it's going to happen. And it'll happen. And a lot of people that haven't had to go through adversity and push through and grind it out, you know, sometimes they fall back. They're like, oh, this isn't easy. I don't want it. Right. You know what I mean? So I think that's just pushed me to just be able to, like I say, like, keep grinding, like Nipsey, like, stay on the marathon. You know what I'm saying? And like, that stuff's all real, because it's like the people, you know, it's like tortoise in the hare, like the people who just are slow and steady and just keep fighting, like, eventually the opportunity's gonna come and you'll be ready for it. So.
Okay. Damn, that's a crazy Western Michigan story. And, you know, now that we can kind of lead into that, 4-year starter, Western Michigan, 8th all-time leading scorer, one of 4 players with 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 200 assists. It's pretty. One of 19 players with 1,000 points, 500 rebounds. Freshman year, you're all freshman team, and then it seems like every year you evolved, and then finally when you're a senior, you're 3rd team all MAC. So I want to talk to you about that. Just looking back at it, do you feel like you accomplished everything you wanted to at Western Michigan?
No.
And it can be, I phrased that wrong. Did you feel like both individually and as a team? Because, I mean, you did go to the tourney, which is huge.
Yeah.
But then again, after that, that was freshman year, and then after that, you guys only made conference tourney once, I think, like the CBI or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I'll say no, because I always just like feel like I could have did more. Us as a team could have did more. Like my freshman year was just like, it was like the perfect storm. Like we had just a great team. We had a fun group of guys. Like every team I've been on that has, you know, won a championship or been really good has had like, you just have just this vibe on the team. You know, it's like, it's hard to explain and you don't really notice it when you're in it. It's just like after the season or after you have this great year, you're like, oh, there it was. You know what I mean? And you can't even plan for it. It just happens. Like it's just like the perfect makeup and guys buying into their roles, and the coach and the players are all just on the same wavelength of everything. And it's just like boom. Like it's just like that year. And sometimes you see teams that have groups of guys that are together and they carry that through. Like that's very hard to do. You know, when you see teams winning multiple championships and playing at a very high level on a very consistent basis, you know, like what we're witnessing, what we just witnessed, like the Warriors doing, like, like to put it on a scale like that, like you got guys doing that at the highest level, going against the best players in the world every night. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For 3 years, 240 games plus playoffs, like that's all mental. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of mental toughness.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's all mental. And so, but just, you know, back to the Western, like that was probably one of my more fun years, just because we were really good. Everyone was having like a lot of fun. But then I also went through some adversity that year as well. Like I had never been injured before, never had missed a game, like ever. I can't remember. And sprained my ankle like really bad right before a non-conference game. We were scrimmaging, went up, came down, ankle deep. Like I thought I broke it, but it didn't get broke. But I was out for like 5 weeks. So yeah, I missed a couple games, and that for me was just a whole nother side of the game. It was like trying to get back in the game, and just going through that mentally was, you know, at 18, 19 years old, and seeing the team just doing great and continuing to push through. But it's like, man, I want to be a part of that. I want to be out there. And then getting back, and then like boom, ankle again. And so like there was just like a little frame of time where, like, you know, I finished the year on my freshman year on 2 bad. I had sprained both of my ankles, so I like was out there on 2 bum ankles. So that was tough. But my coach was just like, you gotta, you know, if you're healthy, like you're healthy enough, you're cleared, like just fight through it. It's mental, like you got it. And so like that was fun. So like I had my breakout game was the MAC championship when we played Toledo. And so I think I had like 21 points or something like that, and I don't know how many rebounds or whatever, but like that game was, that was fun. And I mean, it's always fun when you're getting buckets, but just being able to win on that stage, like that was my first time ever playing on national TV, that game, and like ever having like an ESPN interview, or like I don't even think I had been interviewed after a game in college like that. Damn. And so like just doing that and winning for like my college and my coach and the team and the city, and I was really winning for everyone back home too, who was following along. That was really fun. And then we lost our center, Shane Whittington. He went to the NBA, and then
right after that game, I mean, the conference championship, you played Syracuse.
Yep.
First round. You gave them 11.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I led us in scoring at 11 points. I don't know if that happened.
Hey, who was at Syracuse at that time?
They had C.J. Fair.
Okay.
Raheem Christmas. Tyler Ennis.
So you're just the sniper out of the zone.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, the zone was crazy. Like, especially with the guys they had, and they had Jeremy Grant.
Okay.
Jeremy Grant was there. And that game was like, that was the most. We played Syracuse in Buffalo, New York. You know,
that's like a home game.
Exactly. Like, I came out to that game. That was the loudest gym I've ever played in my entire life. Damn. Like, after, because those guys were dunking so much. Like, after they get a dunk, like, you weren't even hearing like a crowd yell. You were just hearing like, you turn the old TV on and it like buzzes. Like, that's almost like what you're hearing. It's like, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, so that for me was just like that environment and that like, just everything was, that was like amazing. Like that was, even though we lost, like just playing on that stage in front of millions of people worldwide was like, that was fun. I like that. And so that's how I knew like, all right, like I gotta take it to the next step. I gotta get better. I gotta step it up. We thought we were gonna be really good that year, and then we came up short at the MAC tournament, and that was heartbreaking. And to see my teammate, who was like, you know, I still talk to him to this day, David Brown. He was actually my roommate that year.
Okay.
And he was a senior, and to see how he was after that game was just like heartbreaking for me, because like I knew in the back of my head I got 2 more shots at it, but seeing how hurt he was, I was just like, it was the same thing as when I was here
in high school. Yeah.
I was just like, man, I do not want to feel like that again. You know what I mean? And so that just like sparked something in me. And you know, not to say that trying to not feel a certain way pushes you, it definitely does.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
And so, you know, after your senior year, 3rd team all MAC, you graduate. You graduated, right? What'd you get your degree in?
Marketing.
Okay, that's what's up. Congrats with that.
Appreciate it.
So now, I'm pretty sure you knew that you wanted to go pro. You felt like you're good enough. You had a good enough career. How was the process? And we like to ask all of our guys, all of our guests who were pros, we like to ask them, how was the process of picking an agent?
That's tough. Because everyone knows, and any good agent will tell anyone too, that there's a lot of like liars out there, fake agents.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like trying to find the best used car salesman. No offense to any used car salesman out there. My dad once was a used car salesman, so he used that for me. It's tough. Like, it's when you get into like the professional world, it's a whole nother ball game. Like, it's not fun. It's fun, but it's not for fun anymore. Now, you have fun playing, but everyone else that's involved, like their career, like the food on the table for their family revolves around what you do as me as a player. So this agent, he gets paid based off of how he can get me a job. Okay, so he gets paid, then he gets me the job. But on the other end of it, this team, this coach, this GM, this manager, this owner, they get paid based off of making a good business decision, bringing in a good player. Now, whether that's here getting drafted, NBA, G League, whatever it is, or overseas, even more so, because you can get sent home just like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? And like sponsors, if you don't win 2 games in a row, they'll be like, we're not paying anymore, and then no one gets paid.
Right.
So like, it's just a whole nother animal. There's so many elements that go into it, but like, I mean, if I could say anything, and I always remind myself, as well as anyone else, aspiring pros or even new pros out of college, it's just like, you just gotta hoop. Like, you can't worry about this person's opinion. And this goes even further than just being a pro.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
any level. But all you can control is what you can control. You can't control what this person thinks or says. All you can do is prove them wrong or prove them right. And you just got to go out there and hoop and do your thing and play your game, and just like no one's in the crowd and there's no scouts on the seats or whatever. It's just like you just got to ball out, and that's like the beauty in it, is like it's really up to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to other people to put you out in the court and do those things, but ultimately, like, when the opportunity comes, like, within the team sport, it's up to you to, like, step up to the plate and do what you need to do. And so that just goes with, you know, preparation and just staying ready.
After you picked an agent, was your agent able to get you offers? Because then you were entered into the G League draft and you got drafted. So before we get into the G League, were you able to get any offers prior to entering the G League draft?
Yeah, I had gotten an offer. I forget where. It was in, like, kind of, in the Adriatic League or something. But it was a solid spot. But what, like, a lot of people don't know is that I actually got hurt the summer going into my rookie year. I actually got injured I was playing in the Pro-Am. And I wasn't healthy when it was to come time August to go out and go to Europe. I was hurt, but I didn't tell anyone that. The only people who knew was, like, obviously the people who represented me, and, like, not a whole lot of people know. Like, I went up to go do a tip dunk, and someone undercut me. And I didn't expect it, and I landed straight on my shoulder. So I actually almost separated my shoulder. It, like, kind of went out and in. And it wasn't rotator cuff. It wasn't anything major like that. But it was on my shooting arm. Basically, it was like a really bad sprained AC joint. So if you ever see guys that have, like, the piano key.
Yeah.
So it's like that. That's someone who, like, totally ruptured their... So when you see someone that has that, they ruptured their AC joint or separated their shoulder, and that AC joint then sticks up. Right. So basically, I had the same thing. I actually had, like, a little bit of a stick up. So yeah, like, I couldn't raise my arm above. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't do anything. And so for me, I was like, yo, like, I'm supposed to be going to play somewhere, and I can't shoot the ball. Like, I can't even shoot a layup. After the game, like, I couldn't even go like this to drive. You know what I mean? So that for me was then a whole nother animal, because, like, that took months. Like, I wasn't even all the way healthy when I got to training camp for the G League and got drafted and everything. Like they got me healthy down there and able to, like, go and play without, like, my shoulder popping out or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, like, I wasn't healthy. Like, I was in pain. Like, I didn't need surgery because there's nothing you can do with an AC joint.
It's
but
just rest and, like, rehab.
Yeah, so, like, really, like, August, September, like, I had, like, 2 months of really where I, like, couldn't play basketball going into my rookie year.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was really tough mentally too. That was really tough. So yeah, like, I couldn't take anything going to Europe. Just because if I would have went out there, they would have sent me home.
Maybe they sent you right back.
Yeah, I wouldn't have passed the physical or anything like that. So yeah, I was just like, all right, I got to go G League, and then went to the Spurs.
Right, the Austin Spurs.
Yep.
You guys had a great season. You guys won the championship, so congratulations with that. That's kind of a hell of an honor.
That was the first year it was the G League too. That's
when it was the when it was the D League. You got to. I don't remember a lot of guys from your squad, but I know another Seattle legend, Mitch Johnson, was your assistant coach.
He just got promoted.
Yeah,
so,
we saw that. We saw that. Congrats to Mitch on that. How did Mitch kind of help ease the transition, or how did he help you on your game, or how did he help you overall?
I mean, he helped a lot. Like, he's like very smart. He just, I mean, it'd be easier for me to try and figure out something of how he didn't help me than to name all the things of how he did help me. And I would have a hard time thinking of how he didn't help me. You know, like, I would still struggle. But he just was. It was just great having someone there that I've known Mitch since I was 8 years old. So Mitch used to work out at this gym that I used to go to, and I would like rebound I was basically like a ball boy for all those guys.
Oh, wow.
And so I used to rebound it's like full circle. And so yeah, I remember Mitch as a player when he formed the Lopez, brothers and all that stuff. Like, he's a legend in itself, how many state championships he got. Like, he's just a great basketball mind. So he helped me just transition into the professional mindset of basketball, and I think he did a really good job in helping me do that. As far as, the G League is like NBA style. It's like you see guys who, we had 8, 9 NBA guys on the roster basically that had either been drafted, assignment guys, whatever, and he was just like, here's your role this year. I think I averaged maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and those were spread out throughout many games. There was games I didn't play. There was games I didn't suit up. There was games where I went 10 games without playing, and then there was times where I did that, and then one time I started the next game after not playing. And so he helped me kind of just channel that professional mindset of like, this is how it is. You're a rookie, you got guys in front of you. It's just like, you got to work hard and just trust the process and just stay ready. Yep. And, towards the end of the year, I felt like I had transformed into like, a really good new pro, able to just kind of juggle all those things. I had never sat on the bench really, at least for a long time, and came off the bench or been a guy where I go 2 minutes and come out and then 2 minutes come out. And he was actually able to help me just channel into a new thinking of just being a professional. Yeah. And, it's like a job, and just coming and showing up every day, and just showing up every day not knowing if you were going to play or not. You know what I mean? But you got to be ready. You can't. The day you show up and think you're not going to play is the day you're going to play.
Right.
And so he helped me definitely transition into being a pro, and obviously he helped me in many ways as far as skill development, all those things. But I think that his biggest help was as far as just mental development, as being just a pro athlete mentally.
It's not just because everything's not just physical. There's what a lot of players don't understand, especially players in your position. You're the man for 4 years. You're the man for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you come in, and some guys, it's culture shock. It's like, I'm not playing. Why am I not playing? And then they get down in their feelings, and then they just don't want to grind. They don't want to work. And so that's it's really mental. So then you got a championship, which eluded you in high school and in college.
Well, we did get the MAC championship.
Oh, the MAC championship. My fault.
Don't leave that out.
My fault. No. My bad.
We didn't get the NCAA championship.
Right. No, the MAC is big. Anytime you win a conference, that's huge. But the big one, just really quick, kind of just describe the feeling of like, dang, we're the best team in the G League. So what was that like?
That was great. I think that year, now that I look back on it, and that year impacted me not only from going to then to now, but for the rest of my career, because that got me ready for just really anything in the professional world that will come my way, and just be okay with it and make the best of it, and then try and push past it and get in a position where I want to be. So I actually have played my way into, getting on the court there. Now, I wasn't playing the whole game, but going from no minutes to, game were 10 minutes or maybe 12 minutes or, one game 15 minutes, seeing those small wins within yourself is just mentally, you kind of figure a way to channel those things. So when we did win that championship, it was kind of like there was just an internal sense of man, all those extra hours or all those times of mental warfare with myself, it paid off. And I feel like, whether it was my role to come out on the floor that night and play, or whether it was my role the day before to guard Nick Johnson in practice, or, you know, do this, or come out and we need Darren Hilliard to do something and I got to give him a 7-minute break or something like that. Like that, those are the things where you kind of see that it's more than, there's more to basketball than of just like scoring or shooting or this or that. It's like trying to get into that mindset of being like, what can I do that's best for the team? And I think that's the biggest thing I took away from playing with the Spurs, was just, you know, that everybody on the team is important. And I think that I didn't really realize that when I was one of the main guys, because you're just kind of like, go out there, you play, but you might take for granted what maybe the 10, 11, 12th guy on the team is doing in a high school or a college, and you might just take for granted what they do, you know, because you've never been there, you know what I mean? But then to go there and be that guy and do those things, it made me have a better and more appreciation for a role player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the role player is the biggest thing in basketball, because it's easy to go out. You can go. It's not hard to go find LeBron. You're gonna find a LeBron. You're gonna find a KD. You're gonna find the greats.
Right.
But to find those role players who's gonna put the glue together, to put the pieces together, to dive on that loose ball, to, you know, be in the right spot, to make that extra pass, to wave the towel at the end of the bench, to whatever it is, like that gave me a greater appreciation for those things, because I had to be that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So, just really quick with the G League, what is the, okay, so top of your head real quick, what was the worst thing about playing in the G League for you? Minus not playing or not getting the minutes. It could have been the travel, maybe the pay, the shitty hotels, or
We actually had really good hotels.
Oh, okay.
I would say, I don't know, man. I hate to say the worst thing, because like for me, I know that like just being able to play basketball and get paid for it.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah. So like I always remind myself of that, and I try to not think about like, man, I wish this was better. You know what I mean? Because like regardless of how many points I score, or how many more years I play professional basketball, or how much money I do or don't make, just being able to be in the position I'm in, now whether I feel like it's the position I should be in, or I should be in a better position, aside from that, just being able to play basketball like for this long and travel and now get paid and like go places and see the world and get up at 4 a.m. and catch a bus 10 hours across Germany and then play. Like, but it's just like, those are the things you're gonna like remember. You're gonna be like, man, like back in, tell my kids, you know?
Right.
And so as much as I could do that, I try to not, because
try to look on the brighter side of things.
because I know it's inevitable that the ball will stop bouncing, and I will wish I could do those things that I thought once weren't the best, you know?
Right.
Because ultimately I'd be still playing basketball.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So after the Spurs, you didn't play in Summer League, which was kind of interesting. We thought we would see you down there. We were down there. We interviewed BJ down there at Summer League. We thought we would see you down there. Unfortunately, we didn't. So what was the transition to Germany?
It was very quiet. I didn't know what my next move was. I just was grinding. You know, I was like, it'll come. Like, I'll be somewhere. You know, wherever God wants me to be, that's where I'll be.
Right.
And whenever it comes, it's gonna come. And whatever time it is, it's His time, not mine. So I was just like, just keeping my head down and grinding. And like, everybody had gone. like everybody was signed. I'm here, and then like August like 26th or something, I got a call. They were like, "You got a call from Germany. Can you be there in 3 days? If you accept, you got to be there in 3 days."
Damn.
And so I was like, "All right, let's go." So I just signed it, and then 2.5 days of just running crazy around Seattle,
Trying to get situated.
getting ready.
Yeah, get all your stuff ready.
Like, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never lived anywhere. Like, I had been overseas for like a college trip, but I'd never like, you like in hotels and restaurants and stuff. Like,
there you actually live out there.
yeah, so I packed a suitcase full of like pots and pans,
Right.
like, because I didn't know if they were gonna have pots and pans. Because like I was just like a stupid American, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not in America, they're not gonna have anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what goes on outside of America. That's why I always encourage people. I was like, please go outside this country. Like, that's why my wife, like, I'm married, like, she learned a lot too. Because I was just like, she brought so much stuff too. We both did, and like, we just got out there and we were like, look how stupid we look. Like, bringing all this stuff over here. Like, they got Amazon out there, Amazon DE, like for Deutschland.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like, they got Amazon DE. It's not Prime, but it'll get there in like maybe 2-3 days. Like,
Right.
solid. Like, they got stores, they got clothes, they got H&M. You know, like everything. Like, I was packing my life like I was gonna starve to death or something.
Yeah.
But nah, it was cool. Like, I got out there and you know, like the Rhein Stars, they treated me really well. Cologne was a great city. I always say it's like the Seattle of Germany.
Okay.
So like, very just Seattle-y.
Yeah.
Like, just the vibe,
Yeah.
you know, for a Europe, you know, the German culture is obviously very different than American culture, but Cologne had a very kind of hipster, kind of just very different in the eyes of the traditional German culture.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it's like Seattle, you know what I mean? Just different.
Yeah.
And like, so we had fun. Like, we fit right in, like, used to this. The organization treated us really well.
Good teammates.
Yeah, teammates were awesome. I still like keep up with them and talk to them on the team group chat and stuff.
Oh, wow.
They were fun. I was the only American
Oh wow.
on the
Okay.
team. So
because Pro B.
yeah,
it's
Pro
Pro
B.
B?
Yep.
Okay.
So I was the only American out there, and so like they took good care of me. Like, they were all good guys, and just like kind of introduced the German culture to me, and like tried to learn a little bit of German. It was really hard.
Yeah.
And like I really liked it. Like, I would go back to Cologne on vacation for sure. Like, it was a nice spot, and like the GM and my coach, like they, you know, despite having a tough season due to like a lot of injuries.
I think you guys were 5-21.
Yeah, it was
believe,
very tough. We lost my starting center, who averaged 17 points a game, so he broke his leg.
Oh my God.
We didn't have a point guard until January. We didn't have one game where we had where we weren't missing more than 2 starters,
Jeez, that's
if that makes sense.
yeah.
I
That's
think. So
that's
we
just
had like
awful.
the most starters we had in a game all season was 3. Like, for all the games, like, cause I missed the first game. I had like a nasty calf bruise. I was out for 2 weeks when I first got there. My point guard in the first game that I didn't play broke his thumb, so he was out.
Damn.
Then I got back. Like, it was just like, if it wasn't one, like,
Right,
it was
it's
just
just
like
one thing after another.
yeah, it was just like, and like teams have some of those years, you know, like you see, it just happens. And like, I'd never been a part of a team that kind of had the bug like that, and so like, I'm just like thankful that I didn't have any, you know, thing.
Right. No,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure. I'll knock on wood for you. For
so
sure.
like, just made it out alive. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, even though we did have a bad year, I still enjoyed it. Like, I still enjoyed playing basketball.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed traveling, seeing Germany. Like, outside of basketball out there, we had like a 4-day weekend. So me and my wife went to Amsterdam.
Okay.
And drove over there.
How far is that?
It was like a 2-hour drive.
Okay, not too bad.
Yes, and they were sponsored by Smart Car. So like we had the little 2-seater.
Yeah.
And so like those are actually like very popular out there.
Oh,
because
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so because like they're I want to say I think they're owned by Mercedes, so they're German made. So Smart, like the Smart was like they were everywhere. Like so when you see like the car to go here.
Yeah.
So like all of those out there were like smart cars, and so like being in a European city, like our streets here are like huge. You know what I mean? Like the cities, like downtown and stuff of everywhere are like basically like these side streets in Seattle, where you have like cars on the side, but they're all like cobblestone and brick, like very like old looking. So like. I just liked that vibe, and just having that small car was easy to maneuver, and it was good on gas, because gas out there, if you convert it to a gallon, like dollars.
Like a ratio.
Dollars per gallon, what is the term? I'm all mixed up with pint and
no, you're
liter.
good. You're good.
So dollars per gallon, I think, is that the correct term?
I think so.
Having a brain fart right here.
No, you're good.
But basically, to convert it to the euros, because they go by the liter, and so basically it's like $7 a gallon out there, $7.50 a gallon for gas. Yeah. So having that smart car saved me a lot of money, because basically it was like I paid a normal price to fill up.
Right.
So smart car only had maybe like, I don't know, maybe 12 gallons or something. So I was paying like $40 to fill up. But if I had a smart car here, I'd pay like $15 to fill up.
Yeah.
But I saw people filling up Mercedes out there, and they're spending like 200 euros, which is like $250. I was like, sheesh.
That's wow.
But yeah, so outside of that, like we for Christmas we actually drove to Paris. Oh, wow. So that was a 5-hour drive. But I was like, we can fly, but like we could also drive. So we drove through Belgium.
Oh wow, that's
Yep,
cool.
so we stayed the night in Belgium, walked around a little bit, and then drove down through France, and that was kind of cool too, because we like made some stops along the way, saw like the countryside out in France, like the farms and stuff like that, and just driving out, like you're just driving, like sometimes you're in places with no cell reception, no radio reception, and you're just taking in the sight of like, just
any other road trip.
Yeah,
really.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So it was like 5.5 hours or something, and finally we got down there, and got to spend like 6 days in Paris for like Christmas break.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was cool. So I had actually been there before with my school. So I just took her around and saw stuff, and then we drove back, and then stopped in Brussels on the way back, and so like that was a cool experience. Got to see all that stuff. So like my overall experience in Germany was really fun. Like I really learned to like and kind of enjoy the German culture and the things that they do that are different than us, and learned to kind of like adapt when I was there, and so it was cool.
The team didn't have a lot of success. Individually, you had a lot of success. You led the league in scoring. You were named, according to Eurobasket, you were named Import of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, Import of the Year, and on the first team. So, well, congratulations with those individual honors. That's pretty impressive. So now, after the season and kind of transitioning to now, like, and I know we talked a little bit about this off camera. Do you have some things on the table right now that you're kind of waiting, kind of seeing how it's going to play out, or you're just kind of taking your time?
A lot of teams have reached out. There's been a lot of discussions and stuff.
Right.
And so now it's just I'm kind of waiting for. I had a couple offers. They weren't really what I didn't think was the best fit
Okay.
for me going forward. So just kind of waiting right now. There's a couple of things kind of brewing up, but just like before, and knowing that I've been through it before, and you know, I've had really teams from good leagues and good opportunities come around, and even just this summer I've talked to really good teams and had options to, you know, make some big steps up that I did pass on. So just kind of trusting the process right now, and just grinding, and you know, just like before, and just like when I was in high school going to college, just kind of knowing that, you know, I'm just gonna end up wherever's best for me, and whoever wants me, whoever believes in me, and you know, wherever that is where I'm gonna go. And so I'm just like controlling what I can control, which is staying ready, getting my workouts in. You know, I worked out twice today before I came to see you, and just doing that. Like I told you, driving all over the Northwest, trying to just getting into any gym, and just doing what I can to just be ready for when the opportunity presents itself.
Having faith and trust in the process. Okay. Well, you know, like I said, we appreciate you taking a little bit of your time. We just got a little bit rapid fire. You know, I don't need my phone. If you guys were wondering why I'm looking at my phone, I forgot my papers under my bed. I was kind of rushing out the house. You know, I got the kids, and I was trying to make sure they were good. And yeah, man, so I'm not like staring at my phone the entire time. I'm looking because I have all the questions. My little man, my 12-year-old sent me everything. So that's a little side note. Anyways, but here we just want to go through a quick rapid fire. You know, it doesn't have to be a long answer or whatever. So we'll talk about the what has been the best win of your career, starting high school, college, and in the pros. What's been, you know, I guess, you're the 3 best wins in those different facets of your career.
You already know what I'm gonna say for high school.
When you had the 41, it was 41, everybody. 41 on Bothell at Juanita. Which we're BTST. We were there. We were in attendance. Okay.
Yeah. So that one was that was definitely the highlight of my high school. Now, if I would have gotten a ring and scored 0 points, that would be the highlight of my high school. For college, that championship game.
MAC championship.
Yep.
So they did win the MAC championship. I picked up on that, so I fucked up. My fault, everybody. So my bad. Okay, so MAC championship.
So winning that championship game and kind of having my own little breakout in college, that was definitely highlight. And then pro, I would say, I mean, just winning the championship. In itself.
For the Spurs.
For the Spurs, that was a highlight. And I think on a personal was when we played the Lakers earlier that year. It was actually right before the playoffs. I think I either played 16 minutes and had 15 points or 15 minutes and had 16 points. I can't remember. But
was it over in LA?
No, that was at home in Austin.
That's what's up.
So that for me was a big game for me, just because of going through all the adversity I had gone through my first year and adjusting to, you know, being a role player, and trying to find myself within, you know, trying to find my identity, I should say, within one of the best organizations in the world. You know, I say organization because they're linked, but
for sure.
Just going through all the different things that came along with that, with not playing and up early or flying all day and getting on the treadmill to do the cardio to make sure I'm ready for whenever I do get on the court because I didn't play the night before or something like that. And then when my number was called, to be able to go out there and just hit shots and play.
And you guys won?
And we won right before going to the playoffs. So that kind of, for me, just kind of was just like,
culmination.
And it was just like I can play, you know, I can play against you know, there was guys that I was playing against, like, I want to say Josh Hart was playing. I know Bryant, the big man for now, the Wizards, was out there. And
Thomas Bryant.
And Caruso, I think. And
Okay.
I think they had Gary Payton Jr. too. But, you know, a lot of good players who, you know, are established at the professional level. And for me to be able to contribute to the game with just in that atmosphere was a big confidence booster for me, knowing that, like, okay, like I can do this now.
Yeah,
like
I can play at this level.
Yeah, like this is me. Like this, like Coach Hasson's like, this is who you are.
Right.
And so just
I can play and I can be a factor.
Yeah, like
at this level.
I can, like, because I just did it. So it wasn't just luck, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like that's just comes with the preparation and just staying ready for an opportunity and stuff like that. So
Okay. All right, so last question is, who's the high school, college, and the pros, who's the toughest player you've ever had to guard?
high school, dang, you're taking me back now. I gotta think.
I feel it's like nostalgia since we're in
Yeah.
like one of the meccas of Seattle basketball. Kind of, we had to, you know, get you thinking a little bit.
How about for high school, I just name like toughest opponents? Would you be cool with that?
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. That's fine with me.
I say in high school, in league play, for sure, toughest opponent was Roosevelt. Like, I know that's tough to hear. Like,
Roosevelt, yeah, okay.
but they never had like the best team. They were always kind of middle of the pack, but they were like football players, dirty, like double, triple teaming me, boxing one. Like, it was never a night off with Roosevelt. You know, like the crowds, our student sections would get in brawls with their student sections after games. So like, it was just crazy. So definitely Roosevelt. And then I would say like non-conference was just any time we could play Rainier Beach or Franklin was just always, you know, just always something. Now, I never lost to Rainier Beach or Franklin.
Ooh, okay.
And
I like it.
And any regular season official games. Now we're not counting any summer leagues or open gyms, obviously.
Or fall league or something like that. No.
So when
official
WIAA games,
you were
undefeated against inner city teams.
I like to hear it.
Just little bragging rights there. Also, we never lost to Bothell. My guy Zach Perrion, Josh Martin.
Okay.
So yeah, but nah, it's all. Those were the good days. I say, college. Toughest player in college was probably the best player I played against in college was Markelle Fultz.
Oh yeah, because you came back.
Yep.
Because Western Michigan played at Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I think I had 28, he had 29. And
you guys almost beat him.
Yeah, we did. I wish we did. I wish we beat him.
That was like a homecoming game.
That was like because UW never reached out to me or recruited or anything. And so for me, that was like, I'm coming for blood. I'm coming back to show everybody. So that game, the first half I went for 20. And like we were, you know, it was going off crazy. I think I went 7 for 10 from 3 or something. The rim was huge.
Yeah, you just felt like the basket was just like an ocean.
Yeah, I had like 100 people from family and friends in the game, and so yeah, that was fun. But Markelle, like I don't know him personally just because I wasn't here when he was here for that year. But yeah, he was. I can only hope that he gets through his injury and stuff, because like I know what it's like to have like a little shoulder thing like that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly what his injury is, but I know that like shoulders, especially on the shooting arm, is like not fun at all.
That's
and
tough.
So, you know, the media is not the nicest, and so like I can only hope that, you know, like he wasn't the #1 pick for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
So like
Talent's there.
Yeah, he's just like was an unbelievable player, and just to go to show, I was a senior and he was a freshman, and that's the best player I'm saying I played against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I played against a lot of good guys, and a lot of guys that are in the league right now in college. So like, he was just like an amazing player. Like, just seeing how he moved on the floor, like how he got up and down the floor and just floated and just everything.
And
like
his game's real fluid.
Yeah, he was put together at a very like as a freshman. So he, like, I'm excited to see when he finally proves all the haters wrong and stuff. What he's gonna do, because like, when you get a dude like that, I can only speak from experience, but you back a dude like that into a corner, you know what I'm saying?
You can come out fighting.
Yeah, so like he's been quiet, like everything's been quiet, they're not talking about him. So like when he comes out of the depths of the unknown, like it's gonna be crazy. I already know.
Yeah, for sure.
You can at me on that. And then pro would have to be, I think, honestly, the guys who are on my team and playing against, for the Spurs.
Oh, okay. You said like Nick Johnson, Darren
Hilliard. Derek White was with us basically all year.
Jeff Ledbetter,
like Julian Washburn. He ended up getting two-way with the Grizzlies and played big minutes for the Grizzlies. I think the Warriors might have his rights now. I don't know, but I mean everybody was Matt Costello, Mita Brima. He knows I'm always messing up his name. But yeah, like guarding like Nick Johnson in practice every day, and like, you know, because I was always a scout team, I was always guarding those guys like Darren Hilliard. Like Darren Hilliard is like one of the main reasons how I developed a shot fake in like my professional game now. Like watching him play, I used to go stay after practice and like just ask him to teach me stuff in his game, and just like that's the type of dude I am. Like no pride in trying to. If I see something that you're doing that's nice, I'm gonna be like, teach me that, please. Right. So like me and Nick used to always play one-on-one with Nick. Like,
I was a former Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year too, so that you could only get better.
Yeah, I mean I think he was the same year as Doug McDermott, but Nick basically was, you know, National All-American, but I think Doug won them all. Mm-hmm. But Nick was like next in line for all that stuff, so he had like a lot of big accolades too, coming from Arizona for sure. But yeah, just guarding those guys, and I mean that's made me so much better. Like just playing with those guys and just being around guys that are just better than me. You know, like no shame in it, but just there's something to be said about just being in an environment where people are better than you, and like you're trying to get to where they are, you know, and that's how it was when I came here as a freshman, you know, like had Tony and all those guys who were better than me, and just going up against those guys every day, it's only gonna
make you better.
It's only gonna make you better.
It's only gonna make you better.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hell of an interview. I mean, there's a lot of depth behind the stories. I can't express how much appreciation I have for you telling your story, because I know whether it's one person or 100 people, if they watch it and they kind of hear your story and they see what you've gone through and what you've done and how you've dealt with facing adversity, I know that could just kind of give them some type of hope, some type of like motivation, you know, because if, you know, it's a dope story, because if, you know, something like if just never quit, never give up, and just keep working. And, you know, and following you on IG and knowing people that know you and just say what type of person you are, what kind of worker you are, you know, it's a testament right now, and it's all coming to fruition for you. So, man, like I said, on behalf of us, we want to thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. We appreciate,
Appreciate it.
you taking, you know, an hour of your time to really just tell your story. So thank you. So everybody, that about does it. Beautiful interview with my man Tucker Haymond here, Garfield legend, Western Michigan, now Overseas Pro. Thank you, everybody, for following. Thank you for all your guys' love and support. Shout out to my bro, visualized on the camera. Appreciate all the love he's given us, and belated happy birthday to him. My man's getting up there in age. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blacktop Smack Talk. Do you want your social media? Do you want to shout out your social media or anything?
Yeah, Instagram, it's just Tucker Haymond. Same thing on YouTube. Just a message to all the young, aspiring athletes out there. If you're not where you want to be at right now, it's okay. You gotta just, like I always say, you just gotta trust the process. You gotta just really trust it. If you're religious, to whatever you're religious to, stick to that, believe in that, and trust that, whatever your faith is, and just stick to whoever you are, and just always just keep grinding, because like your life and story of who you are as a basketball player or a person, whether it's basketball or not, can literally change like that. And so like I'm in the process right now, and so I would just encourage you to just embrace whatever situation you're in and just try and find your way to the next level wherever you're trying to go, and know that it takes time, and just to stick to the grind, keep your head down, and just stay positive affirmations.
All right, well, there you go. Signing off, Adam here, BTST. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.